Hello and welcome to another video from the Demon Overlord. Today I'm going to be going over Etsy purchases that I've recently gotten done, finished, and painted. Now, these ones, per usual, are from the Etsy website from different sellers. If you haven't seen any of those before, check out my older videos. And please do like and subscribe down below, guys. It helps keep my channel going. Anyway, we have our first miniatures from the Land Prints and Paints. These, if you've watched my last video from Etsy, these guys made a lot of great models before, so I have to pick up some more. So first off here, we're going to be going with a very cool and interesting take on a dragon. Here we have their Iron Dragon. As you can see, he's very interesting. I gave him some nice white dot eyes to be an obvious attention grabber. And then he has these lovely blue flame wings and tail I gave him. Now, when he originally showed up, I was kind of concerned he was going to be fragile, which there was a little bit of some nubs and some mold lines to remove, like some excesses, but not a big deal. So really great model, and he fit perfectly on this nice huge glass base. As you can see, he does fit on a 3x3 base, or square, pretty well. Now, originally in the thing, I think the iron I use is more of a rough iron from Army Painter, so if you're definitely looking for a nice, good metallic-looking dragon, this dragon would definitely fit nice for a huge class Iron Defender, maybe, or you could use him for a legit Iron Dragon. He's got a really nice style. I love how the wings, instead of being just, standard wings, actually have these like big metallic arms with this sort of spiritual flame coming off of it. Now, I call it spiritual flame just because I happened to give it a blue color. The one I'd seen on the website that was done by the artists themselves and painted was similar to this, but with a darker iron, and this flamage here was actually green. Now, I thought about it and I was like, green seems pretty boring and pretty standard. And I was like, if I'm gonna go with something different, make it truly my own piece, I thought I would make some blue flames. As you know, blue is the opposite to red, as is water is the fire. So I thought blue flames would be pretty cool. Now with the blue flames, I actually took two different colors, one from Army Painter, one from Citadel. First I painted with a Templar's blue. I think it's like Templar Void or something like that. But I know it's Templar Blue, or at least I believe that's the name. Could be wrong. Comment down below if you know the real name, if you really want to do that. Don't have to. And then I over the top it with actually a light denim from the Zombicide series of Army Painter. And it actually happened to turn out really nice, where it actually gives the flame this nice living effect and like different coloration of fires you see with like oranges and reds and yellows flashing through it. Now, as you can see, it goes down his tail and then balls up here at the tail, and the wings have a nice big flaming effect on each side. Now, I'd assume, like I said, he'd be a great Iron Defender, or he could just be a cool-ass dragon. Now, honestly, easy to paint. It was kind of a speed paint, but, I didn't wash him because he's just big and metallic. And the flames don't need to wash because they're flames. I did gloss him with an actual semi-gloss sealant on top of him, which helped give his flames this nice shiny effect, as you can see with it. How they have that nice sheen in the light. And it also gave his metal a nice little bit of sheen. As well as, and help kind of pop these white dot eyes that I gave him to just give him, like, that sort of like piercing look. Well, anyway, enough about this bad boy. I've talked enough about him. I'm going to put him right about there. We're going to move on to another miniature. This miniature, I wasn't really certain if I wanted to gargantuan base him or huge base him. So for now, I've decided to keep him off the base, and here he is. This is actually the Mortis Dragon from Land Prints and Paints. And as you can see, I kind of went with a blue aspect with a sort of flesh color underbelly. And then a special dark purple, like a blue. This is actually a Reaper paint I used for the purple. It was a runic purple hit with blue tone from Army Painter, and it turned out this nice dark purple. Now, the head here, just simple skeleton and dark stone for the horns. And then I actually used that Templar blue once again in the eyes, just to give him a different coloration. Now, part of me was really tempted to make this red with the colors of bones, actually similar to the Soul Reaper from Bleach, and I was really sitting there going, yeah, let's not do that, because I didn't want to really just rip it off, and I thought it was pretty cool looking, though. I like this tail here. I like the swoop effect it's got going on. As you can see, you can actually put like a miniature in there. But I mean, honestly, you could almost hide a miniature inside here, maybe a small miniature if you wanted to, or some like little treasure chest you could probably put right under his coils here. That way when the group defeats him, or like, I guess, talks him out of it, he would move over and let them have it. But I mean, like I said, this is where I would base him, but I don't know what I want to base him on yet. He is pretty big. He could fit on a huge base very tightly, but his tail comes off. But his tail with that enough would fit easily on a gargantuan base. So for now, I'm just going to leave him baseless. That way he can stand in for either or I could say huge, or I could just say, heck with it, he's gargantuan. One of the two. So for now, he's going to stay baseless. He might stay that way permanently. Really nice miniature. That's the Mortis Dragon, everyone. And next up here, we have us the Barbarian Female. That's literally what she was called. I don't remember if she had a name or not, but here she is. Very simplistic paint job. I didn't try to go too difficult on her. You got the nice dark wavy hair. I got nice little red wrapping. She actually has a wrapping on her chest. Of her female chest. Let's see if I can get the camera focus on that specifically. There we go. And then she's got a nice lovely golden arm and shoulder pad. Little golden sword, little red, and a nice black sheath there. And then for her leg, I decided to give her a different color other than the one golden pad here. And then I gave her like a simple metallic, like plate metal. And then I gave her leather here, a little blue just for some coloration, and then a nice red in the front, because red and blue always look nice together in this stylement. And then I gave her tan flesh. And boom, voila. After painting her streets and gluing her to this base here, that lovely base that comes with, a lot of these prints from Land of Prints, these medium class miniatures seem to come with a base like this, so very nice little stone base. Really nice. And as you can see, she fits just as good with any medium class. As a matter of fact, I actually have my medium lizard folk to compare her with, and as you can see, she's just in the perfect size scale. Obviously, she's a little bit tall due to her base, but other than that, she fits perfectly fine. I mean, let's compare to like a large class. Obviously, she's pretty tall, so without the height of the base, she's pretty much in that classification. Now, anyway, moving on to the last from the Land Prints and Paints, we have the Battle Nun. Now, you might be thinking, wow, that's a pretty interesting character. And it is. This could be a great PC for your group, or possibly if you want to use her as just like a mate, cleric who patrols the boards like a guard. I love this giant cross she's got here, this big cross. I gave it a golden inside effect with a silver around it. Nice simple base for the base hand here. And then we have a nice lovely stone base once again. Now with her coloration, I actually did take the color inspiration from an anime. If I remember correctly, I think it was like Cross Age or something similar to that, where a nun has to travel with a demon. It's been a while since I watched it. Had a sad ending and all that, But she also does come on a lovely cobblestone-like street. Gave her a nice blue style. Now, I don't remember if this is what specific style there are nuns that wear blue. I don't remember if it's French or something else like that, but I thought a different color than just a standard black tunic maid or cleric would be more interesting. So I gave her a little bit of some light blue and dark blue, and then a little white for the angelic parts. A little metal on her armor plating. As you see, she does have a nice armored arm here, as well as a little arm van brace here. She doesn't really have much of a knee. She has one knee pad, and then she has some little boot covers. So as you can see, though, she's really cool. She's ready for battle. She's ready to beat some demons up and kick some butt. So I love that about her. She's really awesome that way. Let's move him over here for a second. Move her here and move him here, or her here. And now we are going to get on to the big dog. This one is the literal big kahuna of my order. Now, I got him out of complete second order right after I made this one from Land Prints and Paints. And this one is actually from a printer known as Dead Myth, who I think is part of the Artisan Guild on Etsy. And this thing is a bigger than gargantuan, colossal dragon turtle. And now here is the reveal. There he is. As you can see, he dwarfs these nice ladies here. He dwarfs this possibly gargantuan dragon. He dwarfs this iron dragon here. This big guy is literally a 6x6 square. And he is literally what's in the classification of past gargantuan into colossal territory. Because gargantuan really kind of ends at 4x4 if you go by those rules. 5x5 and 6x6 are the colossal, and then 7x7 to 8x8 is, well, kind of anything past 8x8 is also colossal plus. And now I can actually take him off the base because he actually has these nice little footprints, as you can see, on his base. Let's put this down here for a second. We're going to go over his base quick. As you can see, it came with a nice, lovely, broken up shark, which I gave some coloration of sort of like just some pinkish flesh since he's on a ground, or if he's underwater, I just figured. We have a nice turtle here, and then the face, I gave a little dark eye, a little bit of the mouth detail. Gave him a flesh wash. We have a nice big stone here. That's where his one hand sits. And then we have a nice merfolk over here. She's obviously been crushed and killed. So I made her a little dirty since she's been crushed to the floor. And then she's also got some crabos eating her. I love the little crabs there for detail. And I like this giant skull that's just poking out. It's just starting. Now, a lot of people think, oh, maybe it's like him. Well, as you can see, that skull's a little different. But I mean, it could be possibly another dragon turtle, as dragon turtles, apparently by their lore, will fight to the death. So maybe that's an enemy Dragon Turtle crossed his territory, and he decided to put him down. But as you can see, there are some nice, lovely foot pads here, and that's where he put his feet for all three. This one you kind of got to slurp a little bit under the shark there, but the other one, the rest are on top there, and he fits perfectly. Now let's get to the Dragon Turtle before I put him back on the base. As you can see, I made him with a nice set of colors, not too bright and fashionable, as he is a turtle still, so he would like to have a little bit of his privacy. And so he's got the nice big maw there of big reddish, pinkish flesh. I did do the insides of his beak and teeth points. And for his eyes, I made those lovely dot eyes, but those are just simply yellow. And the back here, I made with his center shell an oak brown from Army Painter with little black tips here just for color. And then his tail, I actually did with a dark stone. But notice that red line in the center. I did do this red line just to give him some color. And honestly, someone's asked, why use red? Wouldn't Dragon Turtles have maybe a glowing effect of blue or yellow? I thought that, but then I thought about his technique. And then I also, these stones are also inspired by this. And then the lovely undertailing to match his undershell, which has more of those red lines. Now, like I said, Dragon Turtles fire an immense, powerful blast of highly heated and heavy force steam. So I figure that inside their stomach, they must have some type of internal heat engine mixing with water to make a steam blast. So I figured that's like maybe a sign of his internal heat. As you know, that these guys are technically dragons. They are lesser dragons, but only by in name, not by classification, not by their actual power and aggressiveness. This creature could be an end boss if you wanted a nice, lovely end boss. Now, the great thing was with Dead Myth, he sold it for a reasonable price. He only sold this thing fully assembled in only separate pieces with a base and this Dragon Turtle. 2 pieces right there. All ready to be cleaned up with a little nice scrub down with some soap and a toothbrush or any brush, whatever you use to scrub your minis and clean them. And then I primed it. All of this, I painted this all by hand. And the reason why is so I get every little nook and cranny and make sure I got all those nice details in it. And a nice army brush-on painter or primer. And then, honestly, I went to town and got busy. I started with the base first, which took a long time. He does sit on this base well. I kept him separate just in case, like, you know, I wanted to maybe remove him. Maybe if I wanted to put him on his back as a dead turtle. As I painted the base black at the bottom just to show it off. Like, and I made him separate just in case I ever want to do something like this. Like, maybe I put him on his back like this as a dead Dragon Turtle. Now he could be like a piece of terrain where he's a dead turtle. And, you know, now people could investigate his corpse or raid his mighty draconic parts. Now, as you know, like I said, this is only a lesser dragon by name, not by power and actual magical skill even. Turtles that have lived to this colossal size are amazing. Now, on the website, he sold this as gargantuan. But by the measurements of the millimeters, I knew this thing was way bigger than an actual gargantuan mini. Now, as 5th edition puts it, gargantuan minis are 4x4 and up. But in reality, Colossal is bigger than Gargantuan. So this guy is going to outclass any of my Gargantuan dragons. He's going to be definitely a challenge for my 8x8 Kraken. He could actually fight that, being both colossal. But let's do another comparison. Let's compare him to like a dinosaur here. Let's go to my recent armor back. As you can see, he's dwarfing that bad boy too. Now this one could kind of almost be Gargantuan, but look, he's still way bigger. He could kill this thing without much effort. With that mighty jaw of intense snapping turtle-style force, he could probably snap this thing's neck and kill it within a second. Move him back over here to the other table, because I don't need him anymore. Sorry about that. And anyway, so one more time, I'm going to bring up the company names. We have Land Prints and Paints, and then we also have Dead Myth. These two printers are very awesome. They look great. I definitely recommend if you're looking for some cool outside of the box from WizKid Miniatures. And like I said, this guy here is just fantastic for like 40-something bucks compared to everyone else paying 70 to 100 just for him, with the effort of having to piece him for a lot of other people and paint him. This guy looks amazing. I give this thing, I would literally go 4 thumbs if I had 2 more hands. I would go 4 thumbs. This thing's just a beautiful beast. After my nice paint job, I have brought this thing to life to be amazing powerhouse and a great piece to my collection. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. This amazing premium class, for sure, piece. And all these other nice, lovely characters and creatures made this purchase worth it. So like I said, check them out on Etsy. By the way, guys, check us out on our Dice and Dummies podcast. We are 5th edition, and I am DMing for Season 2 as we finally started recording again for Season 2 after our hiatus due to the virus. Now that we're able to get small groups together, we can do that. And also, we have Season 1 fully out, so if you want to catch up on the last season if you never finished it, or if you want to watch it first. Anyway, guys, you can get a hold of us anytime. Do subscribe and check us out. And that's all I got, guys, but stay tuned for more in the future. Bye-bye, and stay safe out there.